how does it feel knowing that Robert Downey Jr. 100% definitely is following in your footsteps right now?
Look, finally they'll get a good Doom. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Hello, bud. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, mate. And apologetic as well. Sorry if you've been sat in this Zoom for like 20 minutes. My Zoom's been like glitching and it didn't tell me anyone was waiting.
I don't know what's going on. The first interview, they had me signing into some special app and I couldn't get the fucking thing to work. So I was like, what's happening? I don't know what the fuck's going on, but yeah.
Do you miss the time when like being an actor was just like sharp on set, film it, go home? Now you need like a PhD in IT.
I know. I've got to work as hard as all the poor people in the cast and crew who do all their background bit just to have an interview. I'm like, fucking hell. Fucking in a hotel with all the nice people doing all the hard work.
I'll jump straight into Salvable to help you forget all of the woes of Zoom. I'll move on. So you play Salvable, an aging boxer who is, let's be honest, down on his luck. When you see something like this, what makes you say, yeah, that's the role, sign me up?
You know what it is? I've been sent the script to read for interest. It's a lot of things that happen with agents. They say, read for interest. So I read the script and I said, nah, I don't want to play like an English Rocky. I think those like, down and out boxers, it's just fucking, I don't know. I don't think so. And then I had my daughter. And then my daughter started getting mobile. I didn't have my daughter. My poor wife had my daughter. I did fuck all. She started getting mobile, and she's a bull. She moves so fast. She's so strong, and I had to keep up with her. I thought, fucking hell, I thought I was all right. So I said to my wife, I was like, I'm gonna fucking start running again and doing some bits. And I started running, and my wife said, this is like that boxing thing. Could you imagine going to prepare for a fight? I thought, yeah, that'd be fucking horrible, wouldn't it? Fucking hell, imagine prepping for a fight now. Fucking hell. And of course, what was happening is there was these rumors going around that Mike Tyson was going to go and prep for a fight and fight someone young. I thought, it was Mike Tyson, innit? You know what I mean? Like, he's just brutal, he's born mean. Phenomenal human being, I've no doubt, in many ways. Anyway, I tried. So my missus said, why don't you go down the gym? And I started doing the boxing. And I thought, fucking hell, I've looked at that script all wrong. I've totally looked at it wrong. So I reread it and I called them back. And I said, yeah, this isn't anything to do with boxing, is it? It's about connection with his daughter. And they said, yeah, that's it. They said, the marketing's all going to be the boxing thing. I said, yeah. And then everybody they read for Shia's role was trying to be the toughest guy on earth. And you're like, but Mike Tyson exists. What are you doing? And Shia just had this like mischief about everything he did. And I thought, oh man, that's magic. Because that's the person you'll get into trouble with. That's the person you'll be stupid with, because he's making it fun. He's making it seem like it's a good idea and fun. And everything in you tells you it's wrong. So, yeah, we got lucky. And then James Cosmo came on board and Michael Soccer came on board. And then we found Keely, and her mum's a brilliant actress, and she came on board. So we had a mother and daughter real life. So it's one of those where you kind of get swept up into it, and not to sound all actor and selling the film, because that's not what I'm trying to do. Although I should be, and that's in contract. It was one of those that swept me up, and I realised that my life was not, it wasn't emulating art, but it was like, oh man, this would be brutal. Who is this person who's willing to do this and go into a fight? I mean, I wasn't ever going to get into a fight, So yeah. It was that, and it was really beautifully written, and they were very open to any improv I did, and I very lucky.
I'm relieved there was more of a moral to that story than I had a kid and decided I wanted to be repeatedly punched in the face.
No, I was already being punched in the face. That's what happens with a kid. Dad, can I hit you? Well, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, very cool.
Oh, fair play. Like, you might as well get paid for it.
Might as well get paid for this. This is free. You're punching me for free. I'm not doing this for free. Paid? Was there pay on that film? Fucking hell, I'll have to call my agent and find out if there was any pay.
And someone else who probably, walked away empty-handed, no pay whatsoever, is a man you just mentioned, Shia. Like, he's got such an intense, unpredictable energy. What was it like working with him? Was every take just a surprise for you?
Shia's a dear friend of mine. He's a sweetheart, and he's one of those people I might not see for 6 years and pick up right where I left off. And I've been lucky in my life. I've got a lot of those kinds of friends. And no, his whole deal was trying to make me corpse. He was not at all intense. I mean, he to get his energy going, he'll go boom, 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 boom. And you're like, well, that's what you need to get your energy going. But he's been on Transformers, so he's had to do 30 takes of like jumping out of a car and seeing robots as if that's really what's going on, instead of a tennis ball and some guy in cargo shorts. So yeah, he's the child star who's transitioning into an actor, if you like, because he's always been brilliant. I mean, if you look at him in Holes, if you look at him in that show he did before Holes.
I'm so proud I know this. Even Stevens,
yeah. He's brilliant, mate. He's brilliant. He's every time brilliant. And that's how we became friends. He for some reason, he'd seen what I had done and thought it was good. And I was just like, mate, I've been a fan of yours for years. I've been watching you since before I thought acting was a real job. So, he's a human being with an exceptional talent. And that's how he comes across. But he's also an actor, so he's very absorbent to energy. So if everyone's looking at him like he's special and important, he will morph that he has to be that thing. And it's not comfortable. I don't think he enjoys that element. But if you're sweet and kind and decent, he's that person instantly.
Do you think Shia watches everything you do? Because I hope he's watching this right now, thinking to himself, who is that sweaty knobhead in the green jacket?
My jacket's brown.
Good save. I knew I liked you.
I don't think he watches everything I do like that, but for some reason he'd watched my work. He was giving me an award. He was giving me an award, and that's how we met. And I didn't win the award. And he was like, I fucking thought you were getting the award. And I was like, yeah, so did I. I wouldn't have turned up. I'm wearing a fucking suit. I wouldn't have turned up here. Yeah. And we chatted from then on. He's a genuinely fantastic human who has amazing stories. I mean, of all the celebrity people you could be friends with, he has the most excellent stories. And he's worked with almost everybody. He's worked with so many people. He's got great tales. He's a great storyteller, and he's a genuinely fascinating dude. But as I say, in this, he brought the mischief. And talk about it, like, man, he's a genuine movie star. Whatever's going on in his life, for him to come down and attempt, he started out trying to do a Nottinghamshire accent. He did. And he put the effort in. He'd send me videos, and I'd give little tips. And then he was like, I think I'm going to do him Irish. And I was like, wait, all right. Wicked. Yeah, sorted it out. Did it your way.
You said it yourself. Sal's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. So how do you shake off a character like that at the end of the day?
My wife will tell you I didn't. I believe I do. But my wife was like, you're fucking horrible to be around. I'm not going to stay. She went home. I wasn't unkind, but she was just like, you seem miserable. And I can't separate that from the real person. Because I was having to force feed myself junk food. Because the problem is you do all this boxing training and it's cool, and you start to get in shape. And you're doing more than like 12 rounds of boxing. You're doing 7 a.m. until lunchtime, and then going back to it after lunchtime. So your fights are massive. It's hours. So you're becoming shredded just from the sheer exhaustion of the exercise output. And you've got to look like a bag of milk. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? So I was just eating food. Yeah, listen, it's no fun for the family to be there, but I love them so much. I wanted them to be there. They had a great time until my wife went out and went, oh, the little cute, or their favourite lambs get a little blue dot on them. And I was like, no, sweetie. Yeah, I don't, darling. She's a very sweet American woman. So, yeah.
I'll tell you what, you lost me at bag of milk, because that sounds delicious. explains why I'm not a sports person and you are. Like, how deep did you go with the boxing prep? How many times did you accidentally get punched in the face during filming?
One very memorable one. Joel Morris, who's a splendid human being, and plays my dear friend in the film. He's in the other bare knuckle fight in the ring. So Joel, bless him, comes. He's getting fit, and he's like, "Man, I'm looking trim. I'm feeling fucking beautiful." And I said, "Right, well, we've got to go down to the chip shop, mate, because we're doing these runs and all this work, and we've got to look like bags of milk. That's the whole strategy here. We've got to look like real fighting men." And we got fit at the end, bless him. I didn't. It took me a year to get myself back to a healthy, conscious physique. Anyway, we're doing lots and lots of work. I'm southpaw. And Joe was like, "Fucking hell, man, that southpaw is starting to irritate me, like, because I know, and Joel's tough. He's a tough dude." And we're in there, and I said, "Joel, with a southpaw, all you got to do is a straight right. Every time they come round on your left to give that nice, nasty shot, just hit him with a straight," because he's sparring other people. Of course, I get in the ring with Joel, and he goes, "Bing!" It's like, "Fucking hell, Joel." So he split the inside of my mouth. It was good. We were doing a boxing movie, so it didn't affect anything.
You don't have to sell this movie to me. I've seen it. You can just say it fucking hurt.
It fucking hurt. I saw stars. He hit me so hard. I thought, fucking hell. I thought he'd broken my tooth. Fucking hell, he hit me so hard. But, you've also got to empathise with the person who hit you and be like, "It's just boxing, Joel. You'll be all right. Come on, let's go."
Sorry, you've got to empathise with the person who punched you in the face. You are a better person than me, mate.
Yeah, perhaps. I love Joel a lot. He's a good human being, so I didn't want him to feel bad. It was my fault. I walked into the shop. It was my own fault, really.
It sounds knackering playing Sal. Like, I'm just knackered hearing you talk about going through it. So where does Sal rank in terms of effort required? Is he more or less exhausting than being an ape?
Fuck, he's nowhere near as exhausting as playing an ape. That was honestly, that and chariot racing. At least for Planet of the Apes, it came out in a fantastic film. The chariot racing was hard work. Playing an ape it's unbelievable. I'm 6'2", so to squat down to 3'3" all day, and then there's this thing called selling out, which you've seen my career, you know what that is. In the mocap world, there's a thing called selling out, which is you do something that's too human. So the animation, the computer generation, there's a model of the computer generation. When it sees it, the model looks weird. It doesn't look honest. So you're always trying to make the model look good for the animators who are going to add all the hair and do all the extra little bits to make it look phenomenal. It's such a massive team effort that you can't make any little mistake, even with the sign language. So we're lucky enough to have, hours of footage of apes signing. And even the sign language, the way they do it, it's not fully authentic. And it was American Sign Language that we had visions on. So you learn an American Sign Language through an ape. It's exhausting, man. But, it's a joy. I'd rather do that than be exhausted fucking delivering milk for Tesco's, which I've had to do. So, it's where do you want to be exhausted?
That's the spirit. Passion over pints. That's what I say. And speaking of passion projects, bear with, this is going to be one hell of a segue. Let's talk Dr. Doom, because Toby, you played Doom. How does it feel knowing that Robert Downey Jr. 100% definitely is following in your footsteps right now?
I believe genuinely he would not want to say that. I wouldn't make that mistake. He, look, finally they'll get a good Doom. I mean, that's all there is to it. They'll get a good Dr. Doom, and that's what they need. They needed a good Fantastic Four and a good Dr. Doom. And that's it. I'm happy. Listen, I was most impressed. I met Robert because I knew Susan very briefly because she was a producer on Rock and Roller. And she's always very sweet. Whenever I see her, she's always like, "Toby, hey," very sweet and welcoming. And she introduced me I met Robert with her, and he was talking about my episode of Black Mirror because he bought the rights to that episode so that he could turn it into a movie. And he was giving a great compliment saying that, no, everyone who watches it just is trying to remake the episode. And that's not what I want. I want to make like a new movie out of it and do the new version. But you've done it so well that everyone just keeps telling me, "Oh, no, but that has to be like that." And he's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be like that. We're going to do our own version. So that was incredibly flattering to think that he was already seen something of mine and was telling me that I'd done it well. That was lovely. He's a tremendous human being.
That is just so cool.
It was cool, mate. That was very cool. It's not me. It's Downey Jr.'s cool. I just, by proxy of telling the story, got a little credence there. But he's a cool dude and hilarious. Oh, and I laughed like a little schoolgirl meeting a crush. I laughed far too much. I just kept laughing at everything he said. He was probably like, man, I'm on fire. I'm the funniest dude in the world. So I just kept laughing all the time. And Susan was looking at me like, what's going on with him?
Weird that you and Robert were also holding hands at the time too, though, wasn't it?
It was weird, yeah. But the ring around the roses part was the weirdest bit, and then, changing shirts at the end like a football match. That was all, it was weird.
And I suppose that makes me cool by proxy because I know you who knows Robert Downey Jr.
And you now know that story that no one else knows apart from me, Susan and Robert, yeah.
And when I post this, literally everyone who watches it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun while it lasted. And this was so much fun too, mate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dude. I'm glad. Look, and I know the advertising is going to be that it's this great boxing movie, but it ain't. It's a very touching movie about a man saying what he should have said to his daughter. And we're lucky we got that in there. So, yeah, fingers crossed it's taken well.
And best of luck with the rest of your promo day. Like, you trying to manage Zoom is in my thoughts and prayers for today.
Thank you, fella. I appreciate you. Thank you very well.